Hello and welcome to another video with me, Christian Rauchenwald. Now in today's video, we are going to take another look at Pi Network, an application that I reviewed in some of my recent videos and that I'm using myself on my phone to mine a so-called Pi coin. Now in this video, I'm going to provide you with all the answers that you might be looking for, no matter if it is like what can you do with your Pi coins, how much are they worth, how to withdraw, what is Pi exactly, who is behind Pi Network, is it a scam, is it legit, and so on. I promise you're likely to find the answers in this video if you didn't find them already in the Pi Network FAQ or the Pi Network white paper. Now obviously, if you want to know the most about Pi Network, I recommend that you watch this video till the end. However, if you already have some basic understanding and you're just looking for the answer to one specific question, then I recommend that you check the description below this video, because there you can find a list of chapters which basically reflect the question that you have and the timestamp on the left that you can click on to jump there straight away and get the answer that you're looking for. And with that, let's jump right into it and start off with the question, what exactly is Pi Network? Pi Network is a new cryptocurrency that allows you to mine the new coin called Pi coin on your phone by simply pressing a button once per day. As you noticed, I used air quotes for the word mine and for the word cryptocurrency, and that's for a special reason. It brings us to two follow-up questions. Is Pi Network a real cryptocurrency? And the answer to that is not yet. Pi Network is a project that aims to create and launch a new cryptocurrency called Pi in 3 phases, and currently the project is in phase 2 out of 3, and according to the core team we will see phase 3 when it becomes a real cryptocurrency within the next 12 months, so either at the end of 2021 or in early 2022. And the second follow-up question would be is, do you actually mine Pi coins on your phone or not? And the answer is no, you're not really mining the coin on your phone, because unlike Bitcoin, which uses proof of work, so where you actually have to do calculations, for example with your computer or with a dedicated ASIC miner, Pi coins use the Stellar Consensus Protocol, and that basically means that the Pi coin supply can be pre-created by the Pi core team, so all coins already exist and you're not mining them, but you simply receive a reward for every time you push the button in the Pi Network application. So every time you start the app once per day and push the button to start your mining session, you receive coins credited to your account for completing the 24-hour mining session. And that also answers common questions that I see over and over again, like how is it possible that even though I close the app, so I quit the app on my phone, I still receive the coins? How is it possible that even though I'm offline I receive the coins? How is it possible that even though I turn off my phone I receive the coins? The answer is because you're not really mining the coins on your phone, you simply get them credited after 24 hours. Which again brings us to another follow-up question that I see often as a result. It's why do we have to mine? So why do we have to push that button once per day then at all if the coins already exist? And the answer to that is actually quite simple once you start to think about it, because in order for Pi Network to succeed, so to establish a value for their coin once they reach phase 3 at the end of 2021 or early 2022, they need an active community, and that community needs to be big enough. Now, if you signed up in 2019 when the Pi Network project actually started and you wouldn't have to open the app once per day, chances are that by now you would have already forgotten everything about the project, and when they go live, you wouldn't even know that you have any coins, which means Pi Network would fail and be dead in the water because they would have maybe millions of users, but none of them would be active. So by providing you with an incentive, so you receive coins for opening the app once per day and pressing a button, they make sure that as many users as possible stay up to date and involved in the project, because every day you open the app, you are able to see any news that they might publish on the app's home screen, and you stay more involved with the project, which means you don't miss the launch of Pi Network, which means when they reach phase 3 at the end of 2021 or early 2022, you'll actually be an active member and willing and looking forward to use your coins, which is a core element for Pi to have a chance of success or of succeeding, and which explains why you receive Pi coins for pushing a button once per day, although those Pi coins pretty much already exist and there is no mining involved. And that thought process actually already provides us with the answer to another very popular question or argument from people that claim that Pi Network would be a scam. Some people say that Pi Network is just a pyramid scheme or a multi-level marketing scheme because you receive a bonus when somebody signs up with your referral code. And if we think about it, we realize why that is. Pi Network needs a huge amount of active users once they achieve phase 3, which again is scheduled for late 2021 or early 2022. Because only if they have enough users at that point, and especially active users, they have a chance that PiCoin actually establishes itself as a currency, like planned and outlined in the Pi Network white paper. Now, in order to do that, they provide users with an incentive for inviting new users, because if there would be no incentive, you could say, I'm not going to tell other people about it, so I have a bigger share of the pie. But by providing you with an incentive, so you mine more coins when you invite other users and they are also active, you actually have a reason to promote Pi Network to other people. And inviting new users doesn't only help you because you suddenly get a mining boost when those people are actively mining in your team, but it also helps the whole Pi ecosystem, because again, the more people are active once Pi reaches phase 3, the higher the chances that Pi actually establish itself as a currency on the market. Now, both previous points that we covered until now, so the fact that you receive coins more or less out of thin air and they're not actually mined on your phone, as well as the fact that you receive an incentive or a referral bonus for inviting new users, also bring us to another topic, the KYC process. Here people make allegations that the KYC process is something that no other cryptocurrency does, and it's just a proof or evidence or whatever that Pi Network is a scam aiming to get or gain access to your personal data. But if we think about that for a second, we realize a few things. First of all, because Pi Network grants you a referral bonus, so when you have people that join your team and they're actively mining, you are mining faster, it means it opens Pi up for potential fraud. Because I could just install BlueStacks, which is an Android emulator on my computer, and then if my computer is powerful enough, run 100 virtual Android devices and have them all use the referral code from my main Pi account, which means I would not actually bring new users to the system, but I would artificially increase my mining rate. Now, the only real way to prevent that and to ensure that every person only has one account is by introducing a KYC process. Now, KYC stands for Know Your Customer, and it pretty much means you have to prove that you are who you say you are, and it ensures that you can only have one verified Pi account, and all other accounts, so if you created multiple accounts, they will eventually be deleted and their coins get burned. But not only the coins on your fake accounts or on duplicate accounts get burned, but also the coins that you received as a bonus from those duplicate, fake or bot accounts, or however you want to call it. And that ensures that in the end, the Pi supply only contains coins that have been mined from unique, verified human beings like me and you. So that's why Pi Network needs a KYC process, and why it's actually in all our benefit that they have one, because otherwise tech-savvy people could manipulate the system, improve and increase their mining rates artificially, and gain a huge unfair advantage that would just harm the whole Pi economy. Now, obviously, that still leaves the question, is the KYC process secure? And in my perspective, this is one of the points where you actually have to give Pi Network and the core team huge credit, because they didn't just implement a feature in the application where it asks you to upload your passport or driving license or something and then stores it on Pi Network servers. No, they decided to use an established third-party company called YOTI for the KYC process. Now, with YOTI, we get to another set of questions, because there are people that claim YOTI is not legit because they have a set or a bunch of negative reviews on the App Store. But if you think about it, if you have an app that you only use to verify your account, are you going to spend time to leave a positive review if everything works flawless in just a couple of minutes? Or are you only or more likely going to go to the App Store and leave a negative review if YOTI for some reason declines your ID, which most likely is your own fault? Now, obviously, that alone is not proof enough that YOTI is legit and that you can trust it with your personal data. But if you do a little research, you can go to Google and just enter YOTI certifications. You will actually find their Help Center article that I'm going to share with you right now here. that explains which organizations YOTI is working with and what kind of certifications they've received over the years and are currently holding. And once you read that, you'll actually realize that YOTI is one of the best solutions that Pi Network could have chosen for their KYC process. Because if you dig a little deeper, you'll also see that if you upload your passport, for example, in YOTI, it's only visible for the verification process. Once the passport has been confirmed, it gets stored encrypted and basically is not available to anyone anymore but you. So YOTI then only stores the information that your name, your birth date, your address, and everything that you entered and wanted to verify is actually valid, but at no point is anyone, not even YOTI themselves, able to look at the picture of your passport or driving license again. Now, I could share more screens here about things like that, but really, if you just take 5 minutes to look up the YOTI website and read some of the articles, look at the certifications, you'll see that you have nothing to worry about with YOTI. Now it brings us, or it leaves us with another question: what kind of data does Pi Network actually get from YOTI once you proceed with your KYC verification? And initially I thought YOTI would just tell Pi, okay, that user is verified or not, but it turns out YOTI forwards a little bit more information, but nothing that's, in my opinion, really sensitive information. To be more precise, once you get asked by Pi Network to complete the KYC process and link it with your YOTI account, Pi Network receives from YOTI the following information. They receive your first name, last name, date of birth, your mobile phone number if you've entered it, your email address, your gender, your nationality, and something YOTI calls the Remember Me ID. And that Remember Me ID basically just allows Pi Network to again recheck at a later time if you're still verified. Now, another strong indicator that Pi Network isn't just an app aimed to scam you out of your personal information and sell it is the fact that YOTI actually charges Pi Network for each verification. And if you take a look at the YOTI website, you can see that the verification usually costs £1 or, as of today, $1.37. Now, Pi Network provided 100,000 verification slots so far, so even if they got some volume discount or something like that, I would say that they ended up paying between 50 and 100,000 pounds just to provide those KYC slots. Now simply ask yourself, if you were to create an application with the sole purpose to steal users' personal information, including their government IDs, would you either just go ahead and create a simple interface in your own applications where users can take pictures of their passport, driving license and so on and upload it, so you have the whole data, and maybe lie about encrypting stuff and so on in your own privacy policy? Or would you pick a third-party provider where you actually will have to pay $1 or more per verification, and in the end you won't even get access to the real sensitive data? Now obviously that's not solid proof that Pi Network is not a scam aiming for your personal data, but if that isn't more than solid evidence that should get rid of all the doubts that people have in that aspect, I don't know what is. Now I realize I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but before I forget it completely, I want to point one thing out. We live in a society where everyone is innocent until proven guilty, and usually the burden of proof lies with the person that makes the accusations. So if somebody shows up and says Pi is a scam, they are the ones that have to provide proof or strong evidence. It's not my job or your job or anybody else's job to disprove their claims. They would actually have to show evidence. And so far, every person, every comment, every Reddit discussion that I had with people that claim Pi is a scam was not able to show any kind of proof or even strong circumstantial evidence. So far what I've seen is people not doing research properly, not spending 15 minutes to check their claims, and just running around screaming Pi is a scam without any solid proof, because they simply don't bother to do the proper research to see that it's actually a huge opportunity and a legitimate project. I can't say for sure, but I'm almost willing to bet that it was the same thing when Bitcoin launched and people also ran around and said it's a scam, it will never be worth anything and so on. And today those same people regret that they didn't buy or mine Bitcoin back when it was pretty much for free. Now, since we already touched the subject that the Pi core team actually has to spend a ton of money for the KYC verification, not to mention the servers that they have to keep up and running for you to even use the app that keep track of all your balances, referrals, and so on, I want to quickly deal with another claim. And that claim or accusation is that Pi Network would just be a scam trying to lure people into using the app. So once per day, they push a button, watch an ad, and the core team makes revenue from the advertising and gets rich off that. Now, we already know that the ad revenue is used to pay for the KYC verifications and that those verifications are not cheap. On top of that, you also have to consider that within the Pi Network app in your settings, you actually can disable ads. Not to mention that in third world countries, like for example, I'm currently living in Ukraine, I haven't seen one single ad yet, most likely because the advertising networks that Pi Network uses within the application don't have advertisings targeting Ukraine, and they most likely have more ads for first world countries than they have for third world countries. However, we all know that Pi Network is more popular in countries like the Philippines and other third world countries, which again means that from a majority of users, Pi Network will not make any ad revenue because either the users disabled the ads, which is perfectly fine, or the ad network provider that they are using doesn't have ads or ad volume to show in a lot of third world countries. And if we combine that with the fact that Pi Network actually is paying for servers and databases to run on Amazon Web Services, and on top of that also pays for KYC verifications at YOTI, we can pretty much rule out that it's just a scam to make ad revenue for the core team. On the contrary, if you want to see an app that most likely is just aiming to do that, I recommend that you check my Spotter Network or Spotter Crypto review video, because that's actually an app that has a lot of red flags that indicate that it's nothing else than trying to generate ad revenue for the creators without ever planning to develop a cryptocurrency. I'm going to put the Spotter Network video in the card up here in case you want to watch it, but obviously I recommend that you finish this video first so you really have all the facts about Pi Network. Now, before we move on to the more basic questions like how you can withdraw your Pi coin, what they are worth, how you can use them, what are Pi nodes, and so on, I want to quickly answer another big question. Who is actually behind Pi Network? Because I've seen ridiculous claims there as well, and I want to deal with that stuff once and for all. I want to already point out that the things that I'm going to show you right now, everybody can find and double check if they bothered to do 5 minutes research. And in order to show you who's actually behind Pi Network, I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and you can see that we're currently within the App Store. And here we can see something interesting. The Pi Network app is actually provided by a company called Social Chain. Now, people that have no clue how to do proper research and not pay attention obviously visit socialchain.com and find this company here, which specializes in basically reselling personal data or creating apps revolving around personal data and so on. And then people start crying about Pi Network being a scam, just selling your personal data and so on. However, if we go back to the App Store and we actually do a little bit of digging, we can scroll down to find the privacy policy of Pi Network, which I've already opened up, but I'm going to open it up again in a new tab here. And you can see that the Pi Network privacy policy is hosted on a domain called socialchain.app, which is not socialchain.com. Now, when we look up the whois entries for socialchain.app, unfortunately, we see that the domain is using privacy protection, so we cannot find any information as to who owns that domain. The same goes for minepi.com, where we also can't see exactly who owns the domain. But we already figured out just by clicking on the privacy policy that socialchain.com, so the social chain company that would indicate that Pi is selling your data, is not the same as socialchain.app. Now, if we follow further and we go to the Pi website, we can actually scroll down and see that the copyright information indicates Social Chain Incorporated, which indicates that it's an American-based company. Now, doing a little bit more research by visiting the Pi team page and seeing the 3 people in the core team, we can look up all 3 people on LinkedIn, although we noticed that Cheng Diao Fan doesn't have a profile picture and apparently isn't really using LinkedIn, which is not an indicator that he doesn't exist or anything like that. It just means for whatever reason that person doesn't like or use LinkedIn. Now that we know the names of the 3 people within the Pi core team and we know that the company responsible for Pi Network is called Social Chain Inc. for incorporated, we can use Google and we can find things like the hired.com page for Pi Network, which provides us with some other information. And the crucial information here is that the company is incorporated in Palo Alto, California, USA. And with that piece of information, we can Google further and we can find the incorporation documents of that company. We can see that the company was actually incorporated on the 14th of September 2018, and we can see here that this is a branch in Palo Alto and that the agent is Cheng Diao Fan. So the person that we see here as part of the core team is actually the person that incorporated socialchain.inc. In addition to that, we can also jump from the branch here to the actual headquarter or main entity entry on the Open Corporate's website, although it's going to contain the same information because the Social Chain Inc. corporation does not have multiple branches, so simple as that. However, taking a closer look at the branch entry for socialchain.inc, we can even find the incorporation and registration documents, and we can click on them and then click on the filing URL, and we can see the original documents that have been submitted that again show Fan Cheng Diao as the person responsible for socialchain.inc, and not as many people that don't bother to do proper research, socialchain.com, which is an entirely different company. Now, so far we've covered a lot of different things. We looked into who's actually behind Pi Network. We answered the question why there is a KYC process and why you can trust YOTI with your personal information. We answered the questions if Pi Network is already a real cryptocurrency, why you actually have to open the app once per day and push a button when there's no real mining going on, what the advertising revenue is used for, and so on. So we already provided a ton of evidence that shows that Pi Network is legit, that they're actually serious about creating the cryptocurrency called Pi, and that it's worth jumping on the opportunity and mining the coins while you still can do so for free. However, there's still one other argument that most people that claim without proof that Pi Network is a scam usually make, and it is, if Pi Network is actually aiming and working on becoming a cryptocurrency, how come there's no public GitHub repository, and how come we cannot see any code and they're not running a testnet and so on? And the answer to that is you are simply wrong. Pi Network already has their Pi Network Node application, and we're going to answer a few questions about it later in the video, which allows you to run a Pi Network node. Now, a node is a corner element in the blockchain of Pi Network, which helps basically verify transactions with the Pi Network and so on. And currently Pi Network is running their testnet. However, just because you install the node doesn't mean that your node will actually be used in the so-called consensus container. So it means you may install the Pi node, you may set it up, but unless you have a very, very high availability, so your computer is running 24/7 and the Pi node app is also running 24/7 for a quite long time, your node may not get chosen, which means your node will do nothing. That's also the reason why most people don't have proof that the Pi nodes actually are in progress or exist. So only if your node gets chosen by Pi Network for their testnet right now, you will be able to see more data. Unfortunately, I'm not running my Pi node 24/7. That's why my node hasn't been chosen either. But doing a little research, talking to a few people and paying attention to what other people are posting on the Pi Network subreddit, I was able to find this screenshot here, which shows you the Pi Network node application from a user that actually got chosen to run the Pi Network node, and it proves that Pi Network is actually running their testnet and working on getting to the mainnet, which would be phase 3 of the project. With that, I've covered literally every argument that people that claim Pi Network would be a scam have been throwing at me for the last couple of months. I've literally disproved, or at least provided very strong evidence that their claims are baseless, and so far not one of those people was able to provide even one shred of evidence that would indicate that Pi Network would be a scam, whereas all the things that you've seen up until now in this video actually show you or prove to you that Pi Network is a legitimate project and a great opportunity. Which brings us to the last accusation that I ran into over and over again when discussing Pi Network with people that claim it's a scam, but it's not against Pi Network, it's against me personally. Every time I provide them with facts that their statements are baseless and have zero proof or evidence, and I provide them with facts that actually show that Pi network is legit, they come up with, well, you probably get paid for your videos, or you anyway just create paid content. And to that I can only say, until today, I have not created a single video or published a single video on this channel where I got any kind of compensation from any third party. Now obviously, since I joined the YouTube Partner Program when I reached 1,000 subscribers and so on, I started to receive advertising revenue from YouTube itself, but that doesn't depend on what I'm saying in my videos. It's just about people watching and interacting with YouTube advertising, and I get a small share of that revenue. Now, if I were ever to create a video that actually is sponsored content, I would declare the video as such. First of all, I would mention it at the beginning of the video. And second of all, you would see a text in the bottom left corner of the video that contains paid product placements or something like that. And you can believe me that I would definitely not create any kind of sponsored content without declaring it properly, because as of right now, while our YouTube revenue started off very small in July 2019 when we became YouTube partner with only $200, $300 per month, this month we're actually about to make $4,000 in revenue in just 1 month, just from YouTube alone. And I'm definitely not going to risk monthly recurring revenue, so money that we get every month, to maybe get, I don't know, a couple hundred, maybe even a couple thousand one-time payment to promote a certain product or service. In fact, so far, the few companies and services that have reached out to me and asked me to create sponsored videos, I've turned all of them down because I don't want to be forced to say something that I don't believe. Yes, what I'm sharing in my videos very often is my personal opinion, but like today's video, I also provided you with a lot of proof and logical conclusions that substantiate or support that opinion. And as a result, it also means, because it's often my opinion, that here and there I may be wrong or I make a mistake. Just like the people that mistake the socialchain.com website with the social chain company responsible for Pi network, it also happens to me that here and there I make a mistake. While I appreciate if you trust my statements and my opinion 100%, it's always great if you also do a little bit of your own research and double check things if they're really relevant to you. Now with that, let's jump into all the crazy questions and things that I've seen on my YouTube channel, social media and so on, that are not really about if Pi is a scam and who's behind it and so on. And let's start off with the question that I hate the most, but I also see the most often: how can I withdraw my money? If you pay attention to any of my Pi Network videos, if you even read the first question and answer in the official Pi Network FAQ, like literally if you do any kind of research, you will find the answer: you cannot use Pi Network or Pi coins until they reach phase 3 and become a real currency. As of now, each of your Pi coins is worth exactly $0, and it may only have a value once phase 3 is reached and coins can be used. Which also answers the question, what's the value of Pi coins? Pi coins are worth exactly nothing until the project reaches phase 3 and you can use the coins to trade or exchange them on popular exchanges, or until the Pi Network team includes an internal marketplace where you could say, I want to sell my used Xbox for 200 Pi coins. And that question is usually followed by, I found this and that value for Pi coins on that and that website. Now, every website that you can find at the moment that shows you a value for Pi coins is one of two things. Either it's using the page as a placeholder, so they already plan to show the value of Pi in the future, and right now it just shows a random number, which is not great, but it is the way it is, or it's simply a fake website. Every person that tells you that Pi has a value, that you can cash it out on PayPal or something like that, all of that is bogus. Pi has no value until it reaches phase 3. Now with that, let's jump to the next question: is Pi free money? No, Pi is not free money. Yes, you can get the coins for free, but that doesn't make it free money. It will only have a value if and when it achieves phase 3 and can be traded, and that value will depend on a lot of things. So what will the value of Pi coins depend on? It will depend on the community. If you think about currencies, doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin, US dollars, whatever you think about, all of those only have a value because enough people agree that they have a value. If you take Bitcoin, for example, it's just bits and bytes on a computer or on the network, but there is no real thing that you can hold, yet enough people agree that one Bitcoin is worth more than $30,000, and that's why that value exists. So what will the value of Pi be once it launches? That is totally up to us as Pi network users. If the majority of Pi network users is not willing to use or sell their coins for less than $1 per coin, then the Pi coin value will be $1 per coin. So assume there's a Pi network marketplace and somebody lists a $10 Amazon gift card and wants 100 Pi for it. If nobody is buying that, so nobody is willing to sell their Pi for 1 Pi is 10 cents, then the value will not be established as such. If on the other hand the offer would be you can get a $10 Amazon gift card for 10 Pi and users are okay with that, then we would establish the value as 1 Pi is $1. So it really comes down to each and every one of you. Once Pi network reaches phase 3, if you're willing to sell your Pi coins for 0.00 something cents per coin, then you are ruining not only your own profit or the value of your coins for yourself, but you also help to ruin it for everyone else. If as a community we all agree to not sell or trade or use our coins below $1 per Pi coin, then that's what the value is going to be. But it goes both ways. It also means that if you sell something in exchange for Pi coins, so if you are selling your Xbox, then you also have to accept it with that exchange rate, so to establish the value at $1 or more. The point is, it's up to each and every one of us to establish a decent value for Pi coins. So if you're wondering how you can cash out your Pi coin, how you can transfer your Pi coins to PayPal or something like that, the answer is you cannot until Pi network reaches phase 3 and you can use your coins. As a result, we get to the question, will there guaranteed be a phase 3? Will the coins be worth something guaranteed? No, it depends on the core team to finish the development of Pi network, which they're making huge progress on as far as I can tell. And it depends on each and every one of us to actively keep using Pi network, tell more people about Pi network, and then once it actually reaches phase 3, make sure that we establish a decent value for Pi coins and not just dump all your coins at the lowest possible price. Now with that, I already provided the answers to most of the questions that people have and show in the comments of my videos on Reddit and so on, but I also want to cover a lot more, and I want to apologize in advance if the following questions and answers don't seem in order or don't fit well together. Again, reminder, you can use the video description and the timecode shortcuts there to jump to the questions that you're interested in, but I would actually recommend if you watch the entire video so you really get all the answers. Now, one thing that shows up over and over again is obviously Pi network nodes, because when you look into the Pi earnings screen, you can see that you will eventually get a mining bonus for running a node. Does that mean that you should run a node or everyone should do so? No. If you have no idea what a node is, what it means, if you have no idea what Docker means, how port forwarding works and so on, if you don't have a computer that's online most of the time and so on, then don't bother. Like, you're not missing anything out. You're not really helping the community by setting up a node that's not set up properly in the first place. The Pi network node is really just something for people that have the resources. So if you have a computer that runs 24/7, has a decent internet connection, and you actually know what you're doing with port forwarding and stuff like that, then yes, you can set up a Pi node and may eventually be used to actually run the consensus container and the mainnet. But for the majority of users, just don't bother. It's not worth the effort. If you don't know what you're doing in that area, just don't do it. Now, to answer the question, what is the Pi node? Pi nodes are used, or nodes in general are used in cryptocurrencies to basically confirm transactions across the network and keep track of the blockchain. So it's one of the crucial elements of the Pi network cryptocurrency as we approach phase 3. Now, how can you forward your ports to run the Pi node? I'm not going to answer that because, as mentioned, if you don't know how to do that, you shouldn't run a node in the first place. And I'm also not going to answer it because it varies depending on which router you are using. How can you set up Docker on your computer? As mentioned before, if you don't know what Docker is, how port forwarding works and all that, don't bother setting up a node. You're just going to get frustrated and waste your own time for no benefit. Which brings us to something unrelated. What is the Pi network security circle, or what are security circles within Pi network? Pi network aims to achieve security by having security circles, which means you can add people that you trust into your security circles, and it will kind of give them credit and say, that's a valid guy, that's somebody I trust. So in the long run, once Pi network achieves phase 3 and becomes a real cryptocurrency, you should only have people in your security circle that you actually trust. However, during phase 2, right now, while you're still mining coins, your goal should be to have 5 people in your security circle, because you also get a mining bonus. And right now it doesn't matter if you trust them a lot or not, because right now we are not in the live stage of Pi Network, we are not in phase 3. Now obviously when you sign up for Pi Network, there's only one person in your security circle, and it's the person whose invitation code you used. The question is, how can you get more people into your security circle? The answer is, you can either invite new users and have them use your invitation code and you will be able to add them to your security circle, or you can add existing Pi Network users, but only if they used their phone number to sign up for Pi Network, and only if you have their phone number saved in your contacts starting with the international country code. So if you have a friend in Germany and you are also living in Germany and you have his phone number saved at 01 blah blah blah, and you try to add them, it will not work. You need to save his phone number starting with +49 and then the rest of his number, so with the international country code for Germany. The same goes for other countries as well, and then you will be able to add people that are already using Pi Network to your security circle. But again, only if they use their phone number to sign up and only if you have them saved in your contacts starting with the country code. Talking about phone numbers in order to add existing Pi Network users to your security circle actually brings us to another question or issue. How can you verify your phone number? In order to do that, you need to open the Pi Network menu and there go to Profile, and you will see a button next to your phone number if it's not verified. And once you press that, you will see a screen that provides you with 2 options. Option number 1 applies if you want to verify your phone number and you're within the US or Canada and have a US or Canadian phone number, which somehow creates a lot of questions and confusion and a lot of posts saying, I'm unable to verify my phone number, it only offers verification for US and Canada. That's not true. If you look at the verification screen, again, it's within the main menu, Profile, and then you click on Verify Phone Number, you will see option 2. There you can pick your country, click on Start, it will show you a PIN code, and you will be able to select one of many numbers, one in the US, one in Belgium, and so on. And all you have to do is then take that PIN code and send it as a text message to that number and wait for your number to confirm. Now if you pick the PIN code and you send it to the number in Belgium and it doesn't work after 10-15 minutes, then simply try the number of another country. If none of those numbers work, then call your carrier and check that you are actually able to send international text messages with your current mobile phone contract or prepaid plan. Why do you need to verify your phone number? It's simple, so you can gain access in case you, I don't know, buy a new phone and install the app again, you forget your username or something like that. It helps you to recover your account. Do you need to verify your phone number and your Facebook account? The answer is no. You only need one of those 2 things. If you sign up with Facebook, you're not even able to also verify the phone number. If you sign up with your phone number and you verify it, you do not need to also verify Facebook. However, you can do that. It doesn't hurt if you do it, but you don't need to do it. Do I need to verify anything if I signed up with Facebook? No. If you sign up with Facebook, your Facebook account is already verified and you don't need and you cannot actually verify your phone number as well. The only thing that you have to do is wait for the KYC process, and for that you can already download the YOTI app, enter your personal information, upload an ID to confirm it, and then wait for Pi Network to ask for you to complete the verification in Pi Network. How long does it take until I receive the KYC verification? It may take weeks or even months, but the core team promised that no pioneer will get left behind. As mentioned earlier in the video, Pi Network has to pay for verification slots at YOTI, and therefore they cannot just roll out 1 million verifications at once. So just be patient, prepare your YOTI account and wait for the dialog to appear in your Pi Network app. For that purpose, also make sure to every day open your app, click the mining button so you don't miss your KYC slot once it's appeared. What happens if I already saw my KYC invitation and somehow I missed it because in YOTI it took longer than 24 hours to verify my ID? No worries, you will get another shot along the road. What can I do if YOTI doesn't accept my government-issued ID, or if I don't own a passport or another ID that they accept? As long as you have some kind of government-issued ID, Pi Network will introduce alternative methods to complete the KYC verification, so you will be fine. You'll just have to wait for this to happen. Another question that I've seen over and over again is people asking if they can somehow change their earning team. Maybe they signed up with their best friend, but somehow they want to change into my team or somebody else's. The answer is no, you cannot change your earning team. And whoever invited you in the first place to Pi Network actually also deserves the referral bonus. So if you're, for example, watching this video because a friend of you shared it with you because you had doubts about Pi Network, and now you're considering to use my referral code instead, don't do it. Use the referral code of the person that introduced you first to Pi Network. If my video is the first time you hear about Pi Network, then yes, use my referral code. If somebody else already told you before about Pi Network, go and ask them for their referral code so they actually receive the referral bonus they deserve. Does it matter which referral code you use? Do you get any kind of benefit by using a special or different referral code? No. Every comment that you see, or every post, or every person that tells you that you would mine faster because you're using their code, or that they have a huge team, or that they are KYC verified, or whatever it is they're claiming, it's simply not true. In fact, everybody that leaves comments on my videos and tells lies like this in order to get more signups, you should already know I'm taking screenshots of each of those comments and I'm actually reporting all of them to Pi, so you'll actually get either coins removed or your accounts deleted. Because if you can only grow your team by lying to people, you don't deserve a single Pi coin, in my opinion. Which brings me to another question: how can you actually grow your team? Every day people are literally spamming the comment section in my videos with their referral codes, and if you take a look at the comment section of my videos, you'll notice there are not a lot of them visible because YouTube has great methods to filter that kind of spam out. You will not be able to grow your team by simply spamming your referral code. If you want to really grow your team, there's a lot of ways that you can do it. It's very similar, or actually it's identical with affiliate marketing, because promoting Pi Network is promoting something to somebody who doesn't know that he needs it already. And as such, the same strategies apply. Now, initially, when Irina and I started with affiliate marketing, we signed up to something called the Affiliate Bootcamp. It's a series of 14 or 15 videos by people that make a ton of money with affiliate marketing, that share their strategies, how they would start from zero again. And you can actually find a link to that in the description down below. As mentioned, the videos are completely free. If you watch them, you'll take a lot away from how to promote things in the best possible way. But I'm also going to provide you with a simple strategy without you having to go there and watch those videos. You want to grow your Pi Network team. So one simple way to do that is, for example, if you have a Facebook account and a following or a lot of friends, simply go live on Facebook once per day and share your reasons why Pi Network is so great, why people should sign up and so on. And eventually you will get some signups. If you have a TikTok account, do it there. If you have an Instagram account with followers, do it there. So simply create organic content, provide people with a reason for signing up. So tell them that you will answer their questions, that you will guide them along the way, and so on. And don't forget to point out that the only thing that they have to lose is 5 seconds of their time. If Pi Network fails, which at this point in my opinion is quite unlikely, then they only lost a couple of seconds and can tell you I told you so. But if Pi Network succeeds, which in my opinion is more likely at this point, they will actually only regret that they didn't join sooner. Now, last but not least, before we come to the end of this very, very long video that hopefully answered all your questions so far, I want to quickly talk about the latest introduction within the Pi Network app, which is the so-called Brainstorm app. As a Pi Network user, as I already pointed out, Pi Network has the highest chance of success when there are more involved and active users. It's important that you take a look at the Brainstorm app and there click on proposals and actually up and downvote the ideas that you think would be good for Pi Network. Only if enough people provide their votes will the core team know which ideas actually should be created, which in the end helps each and every one of us Pi Network users. And last but not least, I want to answer or respond to some kind of comment that I started to see more and more in my recent videos. It's telling people to not use my invitation code because I would benefit from it. It's exactly the opposite. Of course, I benefit from more people using my invitation code and an increased mining rate, but each and every one of you benefits more from the videos that I'm creating. You all benefit from the hundreds of hours that I've spent growing this YouTube channel and from all the hours that I spent creating the videos about Pi Network, because my videos actually help thousands of people, or more than 100,000 of people, understand what Pi Network is about, making it more likely that they will actually sign up with your code when you approach them. All you have to do is approach people in the first place, and then maybe they end up watching my video. But if they trust you, if they like you, they will still end up using your code. And as mentioned earlier, I actually recommend people should use the code of the person that introduced them first to Pi Network. Running around and being jealous for the success that I have for investing hundreds of hours in growing this YouTube channel is not getting you anywhere, and it's not going to change my results a bit. So instead of being salty or whatever emotion you're feeling when you write comments like this, maybe appreciate the help I'm providing to the whole Pi Network community, and maybe instead of using your time to write comments like this, consider starting your own project. Maybe start your own YouTube channel, start a blog, start writing on medium.com, start growing your TikTok followers or whatever it is, to actually build your own audience and help people by answering questions and providing them with opportunities that they otherwise would have missed. Now with that, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Especially want to thank all those people that used my invitation code for Pi Network and other projects that I reviewed recently. I want to welcome each and everyone to also join our Discord community. You can find the link to that in the description down below, where I'm also active pretty much every day and discuss and answer questions with our community members. And last but not least, if I somehow forgot a question in this video, simply either again join the Discord community and ask it there, or leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching. See you in one of my other videos. Till then, bye bye.